Okay, so last class, what did we discuss in the Visualforce page? What did we discuss in the development Visualforce pages?
Iframe and image.
We discussed about iframe and image.
Iframe. Okay. So iframe and image we have discussed.
Static resource.
Static resource.
Inline style.
Okay. So what is the difference between the iframe and image?
Image we can use it to call URL directly. Like we can download the image and then call that also. And iframe is like if you want to call the third party or Visualforce page, we can call an iframe by using the website.
Yeah, so anything if you wanted to fit into the iframe, then we have to, if we call in the image that does not fit into the iframe. But whereas if we call specifically iframe, so that iframe is going to, sorry, any questions? So whenever we call within the iframe, that means it is going to fit into the specific iframe. Now, also we have discussed about the styles. What are the different styles we have? What are the different styles?
Inline style, style class, external style.
Okay, so Visualforce has 3 different ways of styling. So one is inline style. Second, external style. And the third one is style classes. Style class, internal, external style class. Now, when we say style, so where do we get to know what is the style, how to apply the style? So if you go to the browser, we have a styling specific page is called as a CSS. CSS, go to the CSS W3 schools. CSS W3 schools. So here we have a different kind of styles are available, like a background color. In case if you want font, in case if you want font, so CSS fonts. What are the different fonts are available? If you want to change the font size, so we can change the font size to 40 pixels. Or if you wanted to change something background color, then we can change using the CSS style. So let's see how to apply the CSS style of the CSS into the Visualforce page. Okay, so yesterday we have implemented a Visualforce page which has an output link. This output link is displaying with the normal text. Right here we are displaying the normal text. Click here. Whenever I hover it, it is showing in the red color, the blue color. If I remove the hover, it is black, changing the color. Now I wanted to change the font of this size because this is too small. So how do I apply the inline style? This is the inline style, which is I'm applying within the specific tag. So style equal to, style is the one attribute within the each tag we will be having it. So style equal to font size 20 pixel. Size equal to font size 20 pixel. Now let's save it and see the output. See here, now it is a bigger, right? The size is increased, the font size is increased. In case if I wanted to change the color, there are different colors are there here. So for example, if I wanted to change the color to, so if I wanted to add more options, right now here font size, along with the font size, if I wanted to add a color as well, then how can we add multiple stylings within the style? You have to separate it with a semicolon. Now color colon, so let's say tomato color. Okay, now let's say, so tomato color is this one. Now it is coming as a tomato color. When I hover it, it's not changing anything. Before it was changing because I made it as a fixed static color. Whether I hover it or not, it should show in the tomato color. Right, so we can apply as many as styles that we want. In case if I do not want tomato color, I want some custom, some kind of a custom colors I have. RGB colors, we call it RGB colors, or we have a different way of doing it. Hex, which is a hash 3CB371, which is nothing but a green color. This is nothing but a pink color. Okay, now let me take it in the green color. Now how to apply this to this a Visualforce page. Now color, instead of tomato, take out this, put that particular color. Now let's save it. See here, it is displaying it. So which are the color we want? Which are the color we want, we can apply it. In case if I wanted to change the font style. Okay, now we have applied the font size to 20 pixel and I change the color to the green color. Okay, now also I wanted to change the style of this. I want a italic style. It is showing me normal. Now I want italic style. So if I wanted to apply italic style, just put a semicolon, colon, then apply font hyphen style. How do I know that what is the command that I need to use it? So that you will know here. So look at this, and wherever you feel that there is something which is related to font style. Okay, if you want anything that you wanted to apply. So here font style equal to italic. So let me take this, apply here. It is similar like a HTML, how the HTML styling you will apply. That's the same. So now it is coming as a italic. It is coming as a italic. Right. Now bottom in the tab 1, let's go ahead and print something. So let me give some input text and output text here. So in case if we wanted to use the input text, what we have to use? In case if I wanted to use the input text,
Apex form we should.
Apex form. And then inside this, let me build the Apex page block. Apex page block, and let's give the title to this. Calculation. Let's add some calculation there, like a length, breadth, and result. Now inside this, we'll have the Apex page block. Apex page block section. Let's say title equal to area calculation. Okay, inside this page block section. Let's add Apex colon page block section item. Page block section item, and inside this, let's have output label. So output label is basically, it is going to print just a label. We are not going to have it. So far what we have learned, output text, we know that is to just display the text value. Output label that we are going to use right now. Output field to display the field in the read-only mode. Output link to display the link, right? So right now we are seeing the output label. So output label is, for example, if I give output label value equal to, we have a different attributes. For now, we are saying that enter length. This is the custom field, right? We do not have this enter length field inside the Salesforce. This is, we are building up the form. Now, let me show you here. So it is showing the enter length. Enter length. Now basically what I'm trying to implement is, we are going to have a form. We are going to have a form which is a enter length. Okay, and we'll have a, let's say, enter breadth. We'll have a result. Okay, result will be in the output text, will not have any input text. Now till now what we used to do in order to display this, we used to just take a input field. We used to do using the input field, Apex colon input field. By using this Apex colon input field, we used to display the label as well as the text box. right? But right now here, we do not have these fields within the Salesforce. These are custom. These are custom. So whenever we are implementing a custom, first we have to declare the Apex output label, then within that declare the input text. So now we have declared the output label. Enter length. And then let's say Apex input text. Now we do not need closing tag separately. So what I'll do is I'll take out this closing tag and close it within this. Close it within this. Now these section items, I need it for few more: height, length, result. So let me copy this. Enter height. And let's say this is the result. Perfect. So I'll add one more section here. Let's say this is basic math calculation. Basic math calculation. Now let's say go back to the page. Is there an error? Saving. Okay, it's saved. Let's go back to the page. So it is displaying in 2 columns. It is displaying in 2 columns. Now let me put everything into column 1. And let's add breakpoint here. Okay. So result, I do not need a text field. I do not need a text field. I need read only field. So for the result, what I'll use is instead of input text, I'll use the output text. So when I give the output text, what will happen in the Visualforce page? It will go off. I cannot edit right now. And that is what we want. Now we need a button to calculate here. So for adding the button, what do we have to use? For adding the button, what do I need to use?
Button.
Command button.
What button?
Command button or command link.
So command button value equal to calculate. Now this is how the logic is there. For example, if I wanted a different color in each component, that means enter length will be a different component, enter height will be a different component, enter height will be a different component, I want everything in the different color. Then what I can do, I can use the inline. So this particular component has to be different color. That means it is an inline color. But in case if I wanted to capture same color in multiple components, then inline style does not work. Inline style does not work. We have to go with the internal CSS. Internal CSS. So basically for the inline style, when do we go for the inline style? If I want different color in each component, then we go with inline style. But for example, if I wanted to apply same color for multiple component, then inline style, does it work? It doesn't work. Then what we have to do, we have to go with internal CSS. Internal CSS. So let's say I have a scenario. If there are 20 fields, okay, right now we have added only 2 fields. Assume that there are 20 fields are there. All 20 fields that I wanted to display the color. All 20 fields that I wanted to display the color. So that I have to write inline style for 20 components. If there are 50 fields, then I have to write an inline style for 50 fields. If I have 100 fields, then I have to write inline style for 100 fields. So instead of doing that, instead of doing the inline style for the each component, can I create a one style in centralized place and I can use wherever it is required? So wherever it is required, I can use the inline style, right? So which way you feel the best one, the inline style or internal style? Inline style or CSS style, which one? Inline style or the internal CSS?
Internal CSS.
Internal CSS, yes. Because you are repeating the work multiple times. Developer is repeating the multiple times, doing the internal inline styling. So that centralized style, let's see how to implement. So centralized CSS is basically, if it is a Visualforce page, we write a centralized. If it is a Visualforce page, we write it inside the style. We write inside the style. Whatever the logic we want, we will write it inside the style. So let's go ahead and see the style. So let's go top of the page in your Visualforce page. So what we will do is here at the style tab. Okay, you can do on the bottom also, that should be fine. So style, inside the style, right now let's take background color. So we have a something called CSS. Anything we are writing inside the style have to use the body. Okay, then open curly braces and closing curly braces. Open curly braces and closing curly braces. And then use the background color. Background equal to yellow. Now, here background color equal to yellow, and let's add the back border style as well. These all we can get it from the CSS. And border color blue. Border style, border color blue. We have added this, should be fine. Background color, border style, border color. Let's add the border width also. Ten pixel. Border width 10 pixel. Now let's see whether is it applying it or not. See what happened? It changed. Which all are things I have added here. Background color yellow. Border style. This is the border style double. If I put a single line will come. Border color, I updated blue. And what is the border width? 10 pixel. If I give 20 pixel, it is a thicker. See, okay, so let's put the 10 pixel, that should be fine. Now, let me add the header H1. H1. So whatever I'm adding here, the body one, whatever I'm adding the body, it will be applied to the entire page. That will be applied to the entire page. But for example, right now we have a H1 tag here. And I want this H1 tag, whatever the logged in user email is there, I wanted to show them in the different color. Okay, if I wanted to show them logged in user and email in the different color, probably I have to add here H1 style, right? But instead of doing that H1 style, one common thing that I could see for the logged in user email is we have used the H1 tag. We have used the H1 tag. So what I'll do is I'll add the H1 in the style. Wherever I use the H1, the color is going to be the red. The color is going to be the red. Now let's save. So it did not apply. Why it did not apply? Color red. Okay. So see here, if I use anywhere else, for example, if I'm using the, let's say in tab, okay, I'll use inside the form and input text H1. My tag is H1. Let's say new text. Let's save it. And now let's scroll down and see what is happening. It did not save. Why did not save? May have no more two childs. Okay. Cut. Let me add it here, username paragraph. Below the email, I'm adding it. See here, new text. It is coming in red. So that means if I put a centralized CSS, if I add a centralized CSS, that means if I add any styling within the style body, okay, if I use the tag which is similar to the CSS or HTML tag, and if I apply h1 dot the color, it is basically, it says that h1 dot color. So whoever is using the h1 and change that color to the red. So this is the base. Okay, this is the base. On top of it, it will override the color. It will override the color, whatever we have mentioned in the style. Clear so far how to use the centralized one?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, for example, now I'll say that here enter length is there. Okay. Now I wanted to apply some color to this input text. I wanted to apply some color to the input text. Now, how do I apply? So whoever is using the input text, all of them, I want some color. That means this input text and this input text should be in the same color. So what I can do is I can use, we have an attribute called style class. We have an attribute class, style class. I can give a class name to this. I can give class name to this. So let's say style class equal to, I can give any name. That is the class name that I'm giving up. So this is a class 1. And I'll apply same style class to the wherever the input text are there. And let's say, now I can use this class and go to the top. Let's declare the this class. Okay. Now I'll say color equal to, let me use red. Okay. Background equal to green. Now will this work? Now will this work? Does it work? I'm using the custom style CSS. The class name is not there. This is not a HTML tag. This is not HTML tag. This is the tag that I have given my own name. I have given my own name, which is the class name. So this is the class name. I have given my own class. Whenever we give a custom class name, we have to use prefix with dot. We have to use prefix with dot. We have to use prefix with dot. So that means I am going to use the custom name. custom name. So this class 1, what is the value where I have given? So let's say this is class 1. Class 1, right? So whenever we use the custom style, we have to use the dot custom style name. Now it is going to apply the CSS. Let me save this. It is going to apply. I said background green, color red. When I say color red is nothing but whatever the text I'm entering, which is a red. Let me change the background color. Okay, so this is the green, and whenever I enter the text, it will be in the red. So I have mentioned color is red and background color is green. Background color is green. Now I can apply this class 1 to entire tab. Instead of the input text, I can also apply this to the entire tab. Okay, so what I'll do, style class equal to class 1. So what happened, it applied to the tab. If I go here, tab 2, it will change the color. Tab 1 is a different color, tab 2 is a different color. It's similar like the page when we click on the account, it shows in the different color. When I switch the contact, it is in the different color. So tab, whenever I click on the tab, it will everything show in the background green and color red. For example, if I wanted to increase the font size for this, we can increase the font size to 40. We can increase the font size to 40. Now we have this box, right? So we have this page. Now in case if I wanted to put this margin left or right, we can apply the margin left or right or top or bottom. So whatever we want, we can do it. So for example, this is the output link. Here I have an output link. Okay. Now, before this, I wanted to add some space. So what I'll do, we have an output link, right? So instead of adding the class, so we have another thing is that style class, and the next one we have a class. So div, and inside the div, I'll place this output link, right? And we have another attribute which is called as a class. Class equal to, I can give any name, my box. Okay. Now I'll take this my box and I'll go to the style tag. Okay, as this is a custom one. So what I'll do, dot my box, and then I'll add the margin left. I'll add the margin hyphen left colon 500 pixel. I have to put semicolon. So it came into the center. Okay, so I have added the 500 pixel. So that's the reason it is added this much space. Now, are we clear on how to use style, style class, three things, three attributes, style, style class, and then we have a class. Style is which I can directly include within the component. Style class is which is I'm giving the custom name to the style class and class. Then we can use that custom one into the style body. Okay. For example, you have a same scenario for multiple places. When I say same scenario is nothing but the same style needs to be applied for the multiple Visualforce pages. Let's take this business scenario. We are implementing a pages for Apollo. Or when we are implementing a Dreamforce pages for Dreamforce event. Okay. Whatever the Visualforce pages that we are implementing, everybody needs to follow the same styling. If they go to the second page, third page, which are the page they goes, the styling, the background color of the entire page has to be light blue. So multiple pages are using the same styling. In that scenario, what we can do is you can take out this. Because not only the one Visualforce page, right? We are going to have multiple Visualforce pages where multiple Visualforce pages are going to use the same styling. Multiple Visualforce pages are going to use the same styling. So in that case, I can have this style globally. I can have this style globally, right? Style body h1 class 1 my box. Okay. Now I'm going to save this style into the my system. Okay, so I'm going to save this my style 1.css. And here change this to all files. Change this to all files. My style 1.css. Okay. Encoding, yeah, it's up to you. Which are the one you wanted to use, ANSI or UTF-8 or 16BE. It's up to you. Okay. Now let's save this my style1.css. I'm saving the CSS file. I took out from the Visualforce page. Right now, I do not have any style on the Visualforce page. Right now, I do not have any styling on the Visualforce page. See here, I do not have everything gone. Right now, I saved it. Now let me go back to the static resource. Now the style sheet is there in my local system. Now I'm going to put that styling sheet from the local system to static resource. So click on new. Yesterday we have learned this styling sheet, right? What do I have to mention here? Style sheet, and what is the file that I need to take?
The .css file which we save now.
Notepad file.
Yeah. So let's go to the drive. my style one dot CSS. Now let's make it public and save. Okay, so now we have a CSS file here. Now we have a CSS file. Now how to refer this CSS file in Visualforcepage?
Apex image.
We have a something different command called apex colon style sheet. We are referring the style sheet.
Is it for, ma'am, is it for files?
Yes, it's for the file. Images iframe is just you are going to take the screenshot of that image, or you take the third-party system and you place it. But it is not going to apply the logic there. So in order to call the resource, in order to call the static resource, we have to use the style sheet, apex colon style sheet, and the value equal to. How do we refer the static resource?
Prefix by exclamation mark and dollar resource.
Yes, dollar resource
Resource dot.
dot style sheet, name of the file. Now let's save it. Now let's see, is my page applied with the color? The red color it applied, and this gave light blue did not apply. Okay, so I think something gone wrong. Red color it applied, and tab color it applied. But the body it did not apply, right? H1 it worked, class 1 it worked, my box it worked. Now let me go ahead and see.
We define a body tag inside the Visualforce page, in the Visualforce page.
Oh, we have a body inside the Visualforcepage. No, we do not have. Background color, border style, border color. Let me save this again.
Should we give the closing style sheet tag at the end of the page?
Yep. ct.css. Yeah. So background color, style, width, everything is perfect. Let me go to the style sheet. Let me edit this. Choose a file and downloads st.css. Let's say, and just refresh. Okay, so body is not working.
So the closing tag of style sheet, closing tag Apex style sheet should be mention it at the end of the page, or it doesn't matter.
No, why? No, it does. No, it doesn't matter. Basically, style sheet when we mention, so
Okay.
by executing it, it will take the Visualforce page. Automatically, the style gets applied.
Okay.
We'll see that body one, why it is not working. For now, let's not waste the time on that. So these kind of scenarios which happens in the real time also. So the biggest trouble in the real time is working on the styling instead of on coding. Okay. So CSS styling takes a lot of time, even in real time also. So style can be deployed in Salesforce 3 ways. One is inline style, internal CSS, and external CSS. Internal style, whenever you declare the style within the component or inline, we call the inline style. Internal CSS is nothing but it is a group of component declares with a style right. So let me write here. Inline style whenever developer declares the style within the components or inline. Internal CSS. Internal CSS is a group of component declared with style and the closing tag of style command. Internal CSS, that's what we did it in the Visualforce page. On top of page, adding the style and closing the style. Within this style, we have declared the couple of style CSS commands. And we call this style class. We call the internal CSS either using the style class attribute or class attribute. Okay. External CSS is nothing but where we have uploaded the CSS file in style in static resource, and we referred that static resource into the Visualforce page. Uploading the file in static resource and refer that file, refer the static resource within the Visualforce page. Within the Visualforce page. Right? So far we have learned the basic understanding of the Visualforce pages, how to implement the page block sections, different type of a output link, output tags, how to refer the static resources in the Visualforce page. Basic commands or basic tags we have learned in the Visualforce page. Now let's understand what are the places we can use the Visualforce pages. Visualforce pages, in which all places we can use the Visualforce page. There are multiple way we can use the Visualforce page. One is we'll deploy using the tab. And Visualforce pages can be used in the button to override the new button, or in case if we wanted to create a separate button, we can create a button and we can override it. Also, we can use the link. We can call this Visualforce page by clicking on the link, and also on the page layout. On the page layout, along with the standard layout, if we want the Visualforce page, we can add on the Visualforce page. So if you go to the page layout, let's go to the account and click on the account tab, record, open the record, go to the edit layout. And in case if you want a Visualforce page, click on this Visualforce page and drag that Visualforce page here. So what will happen? You can also apply on the Visualforce page. Okay, in case if you do not want this, you can add a link. You can add a button. So on top of this button, you can add a link. Or you can add a custom link. And what are the different places we use the Visualforce pages? We also use the Visualforce page in letterhead. Whenever we are implementing the email templates, we use the Visualforce page. And the sixth one for the object help. For the object help. So tab, how can we do that? Using the tab. So go to the custom, or here search for the tab, and you will see create a tab. So click on the tab. You will see a Visualforce page tab. So which are the Visualforce page you wanted to include it as a tab here, you can create it. So here my VF is there. So which I have added as a tab. So my VF tab is a custom Visualforce page. This is a custom Visualforce page. Right? So this is a custom Visualforce page which I have added here. Now if I go to the my VF page, so the content is VF image style. So this is the having the style which is within the component. And whenever I click on this my VF tab, it is redirecting to this Visualforce page. Clear? So that's how we can create a Visualforce page. In case if you wanted to create, just click on the Visualforce page tab, new button, and create your own Visualforce page. Let's say for us, 0908. So let's take my my style page and give the tab panel name as a style. Okay, and give any icon. Let's say map and click on next. Okay, so these are the default one. These all are default one. So click on next. Click on save. As soon as you click on a save, you will see the style. So when I click on a style, it will go to the my Visualforce page. So this is BF_0908 my style page. Okay, so now let's delete that style. And coming to the button and link. Button and link is basically if you go to any object button, for example, let's go to the account. We have a button and link option here. But buttons, link, actions. Okay, so either I can create a button or link or action. So right now let's go ahead, new button or link. So let's say that I'm going to create a link or button. So I can choose. If I want a link, I can go with the link. If I want a button, I can go with the button. Now here custom sources, it is showing the URL by default, but we can change it to the Visualforce page. When we change the Visualforce page, it will display the Visualforce pages which are related to the account. So right now this Visualforce page is not related to the account. So if I add a standard controller equal to account, then it will display. Let's refresh. Okay. Now if I say Visualforce pages, now 0908 my style page came. So that's how we create it. Right. So coming to the letterhead, we have a classic email template. We have a classic email template where you can create a new template. It does ask which way you want it to go. If you are saying the Visualforce page, then it will ask information, which one do you want to include it. So we have to create email subject, recipient type, and related type. And we have to use the Visualforce template attribute. Okay. And this is the one. And coming to the next one, object help. Now while creating the object, let's go ahead and create a new object, new custom object. We have a something called here help text. Okay. If I wanted to, whenever somebody click on a help, we wanted to open the window using the Visualforce page. Then we can give the whatever the name it has, whatever the Visualforce page that we have implemented for the generic, we can use that Visualforce page. So this is the help setting. Clear? Any questions? So in case if you wanted to know how many commands are there, what are the commands are there, info tech2 -dev dot dev -ed dot my.salesforce.com. Let's click on this edit, this Visualforce page, component reference. Okay, so click on this component reference. It will redirect you to the some page. It will redirect to the some page where we can refer the commands or the tags, whatever we want. These all are Visualforce page commands. Visualforce page commands. Iframe, image, input field, input checkbox, input hidden, input secret, text. So these all we have discussed: page block, sessions, section items, table, message. So everything they have given with the examples how to use this page block, section item, and what are the attributes are there and how to use this. They also have given the program. So you can go through this. Okay, so anytime while creating the Visualforce page, if you are getting any confused, click on this component reference. Click on this component reference. So which will redirect you to the reference page. Reference page where you can reference the component details and how to use this. Clear?
Yes.
Madam, by default, how many components are there in Visualforce? Like, is there any number kind?
Let's see that. So click on edit. It is more than 107 commands are there. More than 107 commands. So these all commands are there. Forget about the one which says C colon. These all you don't need to worry about it right now. Only check apex colon. Wherever you see apex colon, those are the Visualforce page or Visualforce commands. So these are more than 107 commands. So you can count that. Interview questions. What are the different places can we use Visualforce page? And one more thing, the static resource. The static resource, the limitation of the file is 5 MB. So right now, whatever we have loaded it, it is a 243 bytes. It's very small. but each file size is 5 MB is a limitation. Overall org, it is a 250 MB. What is the file limit in static resource? What is internal CSS? What is external CSS? And how do we refer? For the external CSS in Visualforcepage. How do you declare the style within single Visualforcepage component? How do you declare the style within single Visualforcepage component? Okay. Coming to the assignment. Implement a Visualforcepage for normal interest calculation. Okay. Within the page, add 3 tabs. Tab 1 is one color. You choose any color. Tab 1 is nothing but whenever I click on tab 1, it has to display all the color, the same color in the tab 1. Tab 2, different color. Tab 3, different color. Implement a Visualforcepage by using the external CSS, and inside the page, login name, email, hyperlink, three input fields. What are the input fields? Let's say height, width, button, calculate button. result. Login name and email should be in red. Hyperlink in italic font. And these three input fields are height is in bold and it should be in light blue. So all three fields has to be bold, light blue. Clear? So let's move on to the advanced admin. Any questions before I switch?
No, ma'am.